Hello out there in Tarot Tube land. Welcome, good people. So these are two decks that are relatively new in my home. I got this one mid-late summer. Then I got this one late summer, early fall or autumn. And I thought it might be kind of fun to put them side by side and just flip through them and look at how they are similar and how they're different. Both really beautiful, both from the same creator, right? So, and she wrote the book, she illustrated the cards, it's totally her work. So now, before I get through, before I start with the flip through, I just want to say that both of these books are really high quality little white books. Very good. All right, so I'm going to put this all off to the side now. Bring in the cards. Now, first thing you'll notice is there is a size difference. Whoops. Also, these are very slippy. Here are the backs. This one, although smaller, has got a border. This one is borderless. And, you know, there are different editions, but these are the editions I have. So this Crow Tarot that I have, this is a US Games edition. And this one, I believe I bought it directly from the creator. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I guess I must have gotten this one directly from her. I don't see it. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, okay. So there we go. That's that. All right, so now let's get into this. Now, as I start to go through, you'll see this one, the Crow Tarot, is much more heavily RWS. And this one has got this whole storyline. It's more fairy ethereal. You can still see the RWS underpinnings, but this one goes off a bit in a good way. Okay, so here's our Fool card. And I was going to say that I wanted to have some very relaxing music in the background, but I was afraid I would run afoul with the YouTube copyright police. So yeah, imagine some lo-fi girl autumn thing going on in the background. Here's our Magician and the High Priestess. I love how the moon is in the phases here. The Empress. We do get away from the pregnant lady on this one, right? Now in the Forhaxa, instead of having just this male energy emperor, we have the Council of Monarchs. So, and that's bringing in, you can see, it's bringing in some elemental energy from different areas. And here's the Hierophant. This one does have some, you know, the Christian references are very clear. This one, no. But I love, you know, seeing the roots, right? There's a lot to look at intuitively with this card. With this one, my mind goes straight to that RWS meaning. Now in this Lover's card, so this one is a little more Marseille, right? Because we've got 3 figures. And this one, we just have the 2. In both of these, we've got a crow for a chariot. And, you know, it's just interesting that in the Crow Tarot, it really takes gender out of the picture. I mean, you could read it in if you want to. Sorry, just having a little cup of tea. You could read it in if you want to, but you don't have to. But here it's done for you. But we've got a dragon instead of a lion, so that's kind of fun. There's our Hermit. And in this one, you can see, you know, there's very different elemental stuff. Here, it's frozen landscape, but here she can put her feet in the water, and we've got fish. Very, like a really different seasonal feel. There's the Wheel of Fortune. A lot more people-y in this one, although you do have, what do I want to say? Mammals. that's the word. You got mammals. There's Justice. I don't know if you're noticing that in the Crow Tarot, the borders change tone. They're not uniform. So it kind of gives you this handmade parchment-y feel a little bit. Isn't it interesting how she went with the same lines on this? You know, the florals over here and this line's here. Here's Death. The card I love to hate, hate to love, something like that. There's Temperance. Okay, now here's the Devil. I like a Devil card where the Devil actually looks like they might tempt you to do something that's not in your own best interest, not in the greater good's interest, or that you've been, you know, seduced, dragged into something, a bad habit, whatever. This one, a traditional one, it's like, I'm not attracted to that. That's not a problem. This one, I can see. Yeah, it's easier for me to understand this kind of Devil imagery. But that's just me. And here's a non-tower tower. Somebody in some video I saw recently was saying, I like a tower card that doesn't have a tower. But I can't think of who it was. Anyway, there's one. Star, beautiful. Here's the moon. And it's interesting to me in this one that the moon is very obvious with the crow in the moon, not the man in the moon. And here the moon is more of a reflection. Here's our sun card. One of the darkest sun cards I've ever seen. Judgment. And the world. I love these floating lanterns in this one. I'm probably showing my hand, which one I prefer, which deck I prefer. If you think you know which deck I prefer, go ahead, jump it into the comments there. All right, so now it's fun to put these together because with this deck, she's going for the elements, and with this deck, she's going for the traditional wands, swords, pentacles, right? So I have a little less to say about these than I do the majors, but I think she's done a nice job of illustrating these cards so that they are definitely pippish in the Crow Tarot. But you can also read into it. You can also pick stuff out that's, you know, there are enough symbols. It's not just like 5 swords on a plate or something. I get a kick out of these 5 being different colors and these 5 being snakes. She liked this kind of sunflower image for this 6 of fire or wands. Here comes our sunflower again. Oh, I was going to say about this 8. This is interesting to me that in both of these, look, is it going down or is it going up? The crow is going up for sure in this one, but in this one, they're going down. They're not going up. Still a lot of motion, but not the same direction as we usually see it. And both of these characters are kind of focusing down, right, in their situation, their somewhat troubling situation. And here is interesting because the burden is below rather than above. And there's our pages bringing in the messages. Action from the knights. Oops. There we go. So there's our fire or wands suit. Now comes the cups. I think I'll have another step while you enjoy this ace, bringing you the very essence of the suit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, I'll admit it. This is obviously the deck I prefer, but I really like that image. So threes. And in this three, usually the Three of Cups, I expect to see the characters, whatever they are, interacting, sort of working together, being together as they are here. But here, look, they're really separate. They're not, it's like parallel play or something. So you could definitely read this card in an intuitive way that could stray pretty far from the traditional meaning. There's our 4. And the 5. Look how these figures echo each other. I mean, it's really nice to see these two decks together, and should I ever want to do a reading where I had 2 decks, these two, I think, 2 tarot decks, which I don't really do, but maybe I will, because I've got these guys. And I mean guys in a non-gender way. Now in this one, it's easier for me to see the 7 of water because you can see all the different things in the cups. But here it's like, I have to kind of imagine what those 7 different things might be. Here we do see the different things in this 9 card in both decks. There's our 10. They both have rainbows. And both steer away from that traditional family structure, which I kind of appreciate. All right, pages. I like the mosaic-y kind of look of that. I mean, there's a lot to look at in all of the cards in both decks. She looks so regal. And of course, you're noticing, I'm sure, that this deck is much more feminine. It's almost all the characters, I believe, are women or female fairies, female presenting fairies. Yeah. Okay. The swords. Let's think our way through this one. That was a bad joke. Put this red down in here. I got a kick out of this one. It's sort of more upbeat than usually any of the 5s feel to me. I like those spiders. In this one, I like the way she's, like, her eyes are open. You know how it is when you can't sleep. You're thinking a lot. You try to close your eyes and make it happen. It's not happening. Just kind of lying there. Okay, now the swords pages. And knights are court cards. Suddenly this horse appears. But it makes sense. Look at her, oh my God. See what I mean about the RWS stuff being in here? Okay, and then in this, I don't think we actually have any pentacle symbols. We'll be on the lookout as we go through this one. She's got 6 arms to balance her stuff. And look at these two. They look like they're handing each other their berries. Would you like a berry? Sure, I'll trade you one of mine. Hey, where's my berry? There's our 4. She's got her seeds. You'll see the seeds come back. Circling wolves. 7, not usually one of my favorites, the 7 of Pentacles, but in both of these decks I like it. And I always like the 8, with all the flowers and the bees. 9. This is one of my favorite cards, the 9 of Earth or Pentacles. And remember I was saying earlier about it's, you know, very female presenting, female energy. So, whoops, that was, oh, sorry. Sorry, everybody. There we go. There's our page. I was a little surprised that they didn't, or she didn't cut the apple the other way. Yeah, whatever. In my mind, it's the other way. There's that horse. And the queen. And one more and we're done. There is the Elder of Earth and the King of Pentacles. I didn't point that out earlier, but we don't have kings. We have elders in this deck. So that is it. Those are these two decks. Like I said, I loved both of them. I think you can probably guess which one was my favorite, right? Have another sip of tea. And now we're going to do my little thing. If you make it to the end of one of my videos, you get a side quest pull. Let's see what we got today. So I'm doing this on Sunday, November 20th, I believe. But we'll make it good for whatever day you see this video. So I'm not going to post it until later in the week. All right. And I get this one. Open the pod bay doors. Spend some time out in nature. Live now. Make now always the most precious time. Now will never come again. Jean-Luc Picard. So there you go. That's your side quest for today. Get outside. I have a window and a front door in this direction. So that's your side quest. Make sure you get outside today. So important no matter what the weather is. I hope you're doing well. If you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, or actually a lot of different contents, check out my playlist. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. Really helps my channel. I'm trying to grow and reach more people. And take care. Bye-bye.